Okay, welcome everyone to this week's Elite Bloonarius. So this week we're playing on Cubism, and even though it's a beginner map, this one is a little bit harder than the ones before, I have to say. I think that this might have been, well, actually I'm not sure if that's true, that this one was harder than Bloonarius Prime, I don't know. But still, we have to do a lot of things differently, and also we're gonna see some new technology going into this video. It's something that I actually saw elsewhere, but I wasn't aware that this was a thing. But I actually approve of this. So, you know, we're gonna do a lot of things differently. We're gonna try some interesting ways of farming, and also some small little details that you guys need to be careful of. So, doing the usual start, doing the free Dark Monkey into Ben, and we're saving up for a farm. That is pretty much what we're doing in every single week, every single Bloonarius. And as you guys have noticed, this week we only have 50 lives. So this means that, you know, we're going to have to, I guess, buy a little bit, buy our defenses a little bit faster, but then we're relying on our monkey knowledge a lot because we're trying to get as much farm as possible. So we're playing on Impoppable mode, and that's the main challenge, obviously, that everything is basically more expensive. And so, you know, we're trying to be efficient with our farming on one hand, but also, you know, we're trying to defend nicely. So I got the 000 farm in the bottom left corner, and I got the 000 texture. Now this map, especially in this little circle in the middle, that's where all of these, you know, balloons are gonna go through these intersections, and basically this is where a tower like the tag zone is gonna shine. So obviously we're gonna be buying the tag zone later on. But starting with the free dart and this 000 Dark Monkey, getting our farm to 200, and next up we're gonna get our tag shooter to, well, first off, I think I'm gonna get the farm. Yeah, so getting a second farm, this is a second 000 farm, and then I'm gonna get the tag shooter to 101. Now, once we've done this, again, we're getting carried by monkey knowledge, and this is something that I need to say this because a lot of you guys don't actually have this much monkey knowledge, and so I would either suggest dropping a cash drop, honestly, at the start, or maybe just do the upgrades a little bit earlier, right? So we're surviving with the free Dark Monkey and the 101 tag shooter for now. That might be enough, it might not be, but then again, I also had the road spikes at the end, so, you know, if you need to upgrade something, do it, but also try to keep up with farming. So this is, you know, the early game is very important in this Impoppable mode, you know, a gameplay where you know, everything is based around the monkey knowledge that we have, right? So we have the monkey knowledge, you know, the small little ones like the 5% attack speed or the free Dark Monkey or things like that just make all the difference and allow us to farm faster. So back to farming, you know, it's a, as I mentioned, a 101 tag shooter, getting upgraded to 202 for round 22, and in the meantime we've been buying farms. So we have 200 farms, and now I'm getting a 002 village in the middle. Now the reason why we're getting this village is because obviously we're playing on Impoppable mode, and the discount is very nice. It's a huge discount, actually. It's very valuable to get this. So 202 tag shooter, 000 dart, and I'm getting one of these farms to 220, and now we have lead balloons coming up around 28, so we're gonna buy one of my favorite towers. I mean, you're seeing this basically every single week. I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting the boomerang for the lead, so it's a 002 boomerang. This one is on last, and getting our banks around 28. We are getting our first bank. We're gonna have 2 banks in total. So banks are, I believe, still the most efficient way of farming in the game, you know, not counting the deposits monkey knowledge. So getting the bank, and basically, you know, this is everything that we have for now. And this is where the monkey knowledge, again, it shines. So we're gonna get this Dark Monkey upgrade to 032. And this triple Dark Monkey, again, this thing benefits from some monkey knowledge points. Like, for example, I think there's a monkey knowledge point that gives pierce to the Dark Monkey. It gives it 1 pierce, I think. And there's a monkey knowledge that also makes every 4th shot of the triple dart fire 4 darts instead of 3. So, you know, small little things like that just add up over time. So we got our tag shooter to 203. We got our second bank, and don't collect your banks together. Make sure to collect them separately because we want to be as efficient as possible. This early game farming is basically what you know, dictates the entire game. So we have both of the farms, so both of the farms are 230. We have one farm, the one in the bottom left corner, that is a 320 farm, and we're just chilling for now. And something else that you guys are going to see in a second is that when you mistime Ben's ability, you're actually, you know, there's a chance that you actually lose more lives, and that's because, you know, after Ben's ability stops, your towers stop attacking. So I'm going to use it now, and it was a bad timing, and I actually, you know, how many was it? I think I had 10 lives left over, and then Ben got 5 back, so be careful with those. Be careful with Ben's ability and how you use it, because your towers do stop attacking. So on the farming department, we got 2 more farms, which are 320, and now I think we collected one of our banks, and now we're going for a camo detection sub. So it's a 300 sub. We're going to sell the dart monkey and the tack shooter, and we're gonna get our boomerang upgraded to 420. So I'm gonna get a 310 alchemist. This is my favorite alchemist to buff them with. Very value, and this is the new technology that I've been talking about. So apparently well, I'm gonna buy it in a second after I collect from this farm, but apparently, and I didn't know this, I actually saw this in another video, but this thing, the 104 ninja, the sticky bomb ninja, this thing does so well versus the first tier Bloonarius. It's insane. I mean, look at the HP just drop down tick by tick. This is insane. But what you guys need to be careful about is always getting, you know, your boomerang first to 402 and an alchemist, and then you buy the sticky bomb, because obviously we need to be able to defend these rushes. And I also got one more 402 boomerang here on the right side, which is just to help out a little bit. It's not even close on this one, so you know, don't worry about it. Just place these towers and that's gonna be it. And I also got a 300, so that's a 300 village, not buying the camo detection on it because we have the sub for it. So on the farming department, we are gonna get our first 420 farm. So whenever this bank is ready to collect, I'm going to collect this bank, and I'm gonna buy my first 420 farm. So we're obviously rushing to get I think it's gonna be 10 420 farms in total, and we're slowly getting to them. And just look at this thing. Look at what one single 104 ninja can do. It just soloed the entire thing. And if you have a boomerang, or 2 boomerangs in this case, you're gonna be fine versus the first tier Bloonarius. So again, collecting the banks, I'm upgrading my banks to my 320s to 420, and this guy on the right side, the boomerang on the right side, because we didn't need him, I sold him, so no more rushes from the Bloonarius, and we can use the money to upgrade more banks. So there we go, round 58, 3 420s, 1 230, and I need to take a breather, so I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Okay, so round 60. Tier 2 Bloonarius, or Stage 2, I don't know how you guys want to call it. We're going for the tag zone. Obviously, this is an amazing map for the tag zone, and all of the money that we are getting from the banks and everything, we're putting towards the tag zone. We're upgrading our alchemist to 420. I think it's just a value thing to do, and I also got a 204 overdrive. I love the overdrives. I think they're amazing towers, and this thing is gonna do a couple thousand, actually tens of thousands of HP of damage to the Bloonarius. I think that's a very valuable tower, and it's just the map works so perfectly for these towers that you cannot not buy them, right? So at the end, I bought 1040 tag shooter. That's gonna be our cleanup maelstrom, which you guys are gonna see later on what it does. We obviously know when something gets past the tag zone, that's what we use. We use the ability to clean up, and I'm just continuing to farm. So regularly checking and collecting from our banks and buying 420 farms around our 102 village. So we upgraded the range of the village so that we can get, you know, everything in. So that's pretty much what's happening right now. If you guys want to, you can use Ben's ability, but be careful, as I mentioned, because you can lose lives if you mistime these abilities. So there we go, you know, getting Bloonarius down. I'm getting one more blade maelstrom, and this is just to be safe, and we're gonna buy even more things later on just to be safe here on the backside, right? Because we actually, you know, we don't want to lose. I think this is an overkill, but you know, we just don't want to lose, so let's be careful and let's just buy these things in the end, and we're gonna sell them afterwards because we don't need them. And I also got one more 204 tag shooter right there with a 310 alchemist. This thing is gonna do, I actually checked, I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but that thing is gonna do 16,000 damage. That's a lot of damage for a tower that cheap, right? So there we go, using the maelstrom once, the maelstrom abilities. Again, collecting from the farms, this is something you have to multitask with this. Like, there's no other way to do it. So check your banks when they're full, collect, and keep buying 420 farms. That's about it. And everything's in range of the farmer, obviously. So now this is the part when, you know, I said I'm trying to be safe with it. So I bought a 204 bomb shooter for the last rush, so for the last skull. 204 bomb shooter buffed by a 310 alchemist, and here is where we're just gonna use the abilities and we're gonna clean everything up. Now, something that I haven't been doing in the last ones, in my last Bloonarius guides, and something that I'm gonna be doing right now is I'm gonna be overclocking my farms and then overclocking the village. So getting all of these farms to 420, I'm gonna sell the banks. I'm going to make all of these towers become 420. And while we are collecting money, while we're saving money for the Monkeypolis, I'm going to be overclocking my farms, because if you guys didn't know, if you overclock your farms, they make more money. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Okay, so new technology. So I'm not sure if you guys knew about this, but if you overclock the village, it's gonna increase its range, and that means that we can fit more farms in the Monkeypolis. That's amazing stuff. So that's why we buy the overclock. We get a total of 10 farms around the Monkeypolis, and this is something that I just need to mention. Guys, if you cannot get 10 farms, that's totally fine. That's totally enough. I'm gonna end this game with, I think, $450,000. And that's, you know, the money's in surplus. Like, we don't need that money. We don't need that much money. So my point is, even if you know, if you don't get 10, let's say you get 9, you get 8 farms, I think that's totally fine. So next up, going for a 520 farm. I'm gonna keep overclocking that thing so it makes more money. And I'm also going for a 025, so the Wall Street. After that, we need to get ready for our temple. So we need to deal with this guy, with the Bloonarius. So I'm gonna upgrade the village to I'm gonna upgrade to discounts. It's gonna be a 402 village in this case, so we can you know, place our super monkey. And something that you don't want to do, and you need to be very careful with this, so you don't want to proc the first skull, actually. So you don't want to pop the first skull of this tier 3 Bloonarius, and the reason is we don't actually have the towers to defend them. So I'm kind of waiting. I have about $240,000, and that's when I start upgrading my towers that I'm going to be sacrificing. So I got the Master Bomber. We already had the Ninja, so I got the Master Bomber down. For the magic ones, I got the Glaive Lord upgraded. We already had the Boomerang. I got the 502 Sniper on Strong, obviously, from the military ones. Sold the village, I sold the sub, and, you know, we just got the temple, and there we go. So the first thing that we do, you know, we obviously give this temple some camo detection and some attack speed, so it's a 220 for now. Going for the Permabrew Alchemist. This is insane value on this thing, and you guys can see how the game is starting to become easier and easier once we reach this point. So we have our farms going. We're gonna farm a lot more, by the way, but, you know. So from the primary monkeys, again, we need to keep sacrificing for the next one. So I'm trying to be very efficient here with the towers that I'm buying. I'm buying the Super Brill. It's gonna amplify the damage that this guy takes, and I'm also going to buy the glue. So the glue is a 250, so we keep using the abilities. We keep overclocking our temple instead of the farm because we need the DPS now. We got the Dartling Gunner, so the MAD for our military sacrifices. We got the 250 village from our support sacrifices, and then we got a Permabrew from our magic sacrifices. So we just keep using the abilities. Even though it might look close, it's not actually close. So here I'm moving the Super Brill below so that it follows Bloonarius, but the DPS is insane, and it's kind of coming, you know, towards the end because we delayed our DPS, so we didn't start damaging Bloonarius right as it came out, and that's why, you know, kind of the ending is a little bit delayed, but don't worry about it, it's gonna be fine because the DPS is insane at this point. So what I'm doing now is I'm just buying more farms. We need to keep farming, and I'm going to be buying, I think, a total of 11 new 420 farms. That is going to be 11 420 farms. Our Sun Temple is 410. It was a 310 upgraded to 410, and the towers that we have on screen are obviously the 250 Glue Gunner, which helps us do extra damage to Bloonarius. We have the Super Brill, we have the Permabrew, the Village, and the Mat. So very simple and very easy to do, I think. Very easy to execute. So getting ready for, you know, tier 4 Bloonarius and our VTSG. So we're getting ready by buying our tier 5 super monkeys, the other tier 5s. I got the anti-bloon. Now I'm going to be saving up money for the Legend of the Night, and I just moved my super bill because it was, you know, below for the previous tier of Bloonarius. I just moved them up so that we can fully utilize it. And even though, you know, the tower that's gonna beat this tier of Bloonarius is gonna be the VTSG, you still wanna try and do some damage with this, with the towers that you already have on screen. So just keep using the abilities as we were previously. So keep using the glue, keep overclocking the temple, and we're gonna do a couple of million of damage to this guy before we get the VTSG. So, you know, we have our tier 5s on the side, we're getting ready for the VTSG, and at this point it's just the waiting game. So we're waiting to buy the VTSG, which is 600,000 on Impoppable. So that's a very expensive tower. And I guess that's, you know, the main issue that people are gonna have with this one. It's farming, right? Everything else is the same. I mean, it's an easy map. We have some interesting towers, like for example the tag zone, which is obviously very helpful in this map. But, you know, there we go. So we upgrade the VTSG, and as usual we are buying the normal support items. So up until this point, you know, maybe you guys were, I hope you guys were able to follow this, because as usual I over farm on my guides, because I know that a lot of people cannot farm as much. So when you guys are following it, even if you're behind a little bit, let's say you're 10% behind, you're still gonna be fine. So buying the usual towers, 250 village, getting the 501 permabrew alchemist, getting the 502 sniper on strong, getting the super brittle, and getting the 250 glue, and we're gonna be using all of these abilities together. So next up, I bought 2 crossbow masters at the start because we're getting ready for the dart paragon and they need to get some pops going. I got the ultra boost. Again, we have so much money that we just keep buying these things. It's not even an issue, we just keep buying these things over and over again, right? So buying these things, buying the ultra boost, getting the 500 sub, the energizer sub, which is gonna help us reduce the cooldowns, and we just keep using the ultra boost on the VTSG because we want to get it to 10 stacks. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just buying the 042 dart monkeys, which are obviously going to be sacrificed to the paragon. The dart paragon is going to be in the middle. It's going to be in that spot where we had the tag zone. I'm not sure if you guys can see it because it's a huge mess on the screen from the VTSG attack. But basically I'm buying the darting gunner, and you know, this is the last year Bloonarius, so keep spamming those 042 dart monkeys. We need, you know, to sacrifice as many as we can, but also don't forget to use your abilities, right? So overclock, or in this case ultra boost your VTSG, and keep clicking all of your buttons. So at about around 123, I think, well, it doesn't matter, the number actually doesn't matter, but soon enough I'm going to start selling all of my farms. And we're gonna start buying the, you know, we're gonna get the paragon, and I think I'm gonna buy like one more tower after the paragon and we're done, because after you buy the paragon it's pretty much game over. So there we go, there's the paragon. I got degree 41. That's pretty nice. I'm fine with that. I think that's a very nice degree, and that is pretty much it. So I'm gonna get a 205 ace, which is at the end gonna do about 2 million damage, which is gonna be distributed, you know, among Bloonarius and these other balloons that are coming out. But basically just getting a support temple to buff our VTSG, so sacrificing over $50,000 worth of spike factories in this case, upgrading the range, and there we go. We have a support temple for our VTSG, and I'm just selling all my farms, and that is basically everything we need. It's GG from this point. All you have to do is just keep spamming the abilities and you're gonna win. And you can see me, you know, here following the Bloonarius with the darting gunner. So there you have it. That's all you need to do. That's basically, you know, how this whole thing is gonna work. As you guys can see, I think I'm gonna cross $400,000, like 450 I think is gonna come out to be in the end. I'm gonna pop Bloonarius at around 133. It's a lot of money. We don't even need all of this money, as I mentioned. So even if you guys are behind the farming, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So, oh, and this is very important. Don't forget to move your super bill. Well, I'm not sure if it's very important, but you should be doing this. You should be moving your super bill to follow Bloonarius along. And that's basically it. That's how you beat this week's Bloonarius. So again, if you guys can't farm this much, which I completely understand, we're relying on monkey knowledge. This, you know, this Elite Bloonarius event isn't meant for everyone, but at the same time, anyone can drop cash drops, right? So if you just drop a cash drop, you're gonna be totally fine. And there we go. There we go. $451,000 of excess money. That's how you beat this week's Elite Bloonarius. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.